Yeah. Harry eats too many mushrooms to fantasize above Meghan's greatness like Diana exposed the forbidden crown. Hello and a very warm welcome to LVT News Channel. I tried to make my way through Spare and Harry figures that Sarah and Jane, the late Princess Diana's sisters, offered her the Spencer tiara for her wedding day. Now he goes on to say that she worked closely with the ladies, making the veil to give it a scalloped edge so it would work well with that tiara. And then all of a sudden, Her late Majesty the Queen offered her pick of tiaras and Meghan decided to choose one of those. There is absolutely no way that she would have turned down the Spencer tiara for her wedding day if it had been offered to her. Let's not forget that Meghan claims to be the late Princess Di reincarnated. Did anybody else notice that? I don't believe it. 1b. Harry eats too many magic mushrooms and see those distorted. Any sense of formality that maybe he once had? Let's also remember that it is the Earl who has control of that tiara. Harry is not even his direct family. His own kids have the option, but the Earl would never offer that because it's simply not done. And he would have to know. The Queen has so many tiaras to offer Meghan Markle anyway. The tiara is a part of the Spencer jewels collection, and I think that it is the Earl Spencer who decides who is able to wear that now. I couldn't help but notice Harry left out the part where Meghan was given the choice of 3 tiaras. But she wanted to wear a different one. And that's where the whole Meghan gets. What Meghan wants comes from because supposedly that was also when the Queen told Harry Meghan gets what I give her. That book, though, is a fairy tale. I mean, it has so many made-up stories in it. The fact of the matter is she wanted to wear that emerald tiara the Princess Eugenie wore. And if that wasn't bad enough at Eugenia's wedding, she flaunted her first moon bump. Let's not forget they were the ones who also stole Eugenie's choice of wedding date. Eugenie ended up having to cancel her wedding and rearrange it just so that Harry and Meghan could get what they wanted. I can only assume that Meghan wanted to hurry up because she was afraid that Harry would wake up and realize what was going on and run away from. He'll probably also always believe that Meghan pulled the oldest trick in the book to get somebody to marry her. Now they actually were not even together when she flew to the Caribbean to gatecrash Harry's friend's wedding. And then she claimed to be pregnant when she was not. And conveniently, she later experienced a miscarriage. Supposedly so Skippy, the friend who was getting married in the Caribbean, was actually a yacht captain. And he knew Meghan from her being a yacht girl. He tried to warn Harry, but, of course, Harry wouldn't listen. Skippy was one of the many friends that she decided to cut out of Harry's life. But anyway, back to the original story I was talking about. I don't believe that Meghan hinted to Harry and then he has his uncle about the tiara and his uncle told him that the Spencer tiara was only supposed to be for Spencer. Bridesmaking just wanted it as another way to draw this parallel between herself and Diana. And it also would not have been up to Lady Jane and Lady Sarah because the Spencer tiara is actually owned by Earl Spencer. He is head of the family and it is supposed to be worn by wives, marry, into the Spencer family, as well as the Earl's daughters. It is not supposed to be worn by people marrying into the royal family. Earl Spencer would have had to have approved of Meghan wearing the tiara. And maybe he did. I don't think so. But I do believe Meghan would choose a royal tiara anyway, especially if it was offered up by the late Queen. Now, as tempting as it could be to wear something so iconic, so connected to Diana, you know, she would choose royal jewels any day of the week. And that's exactly what she got. Furthermore, if the Spencer tiara were actually offered to Meghan, you know, she would have used it because of a couple of reasons. So first of all, Diana wore it and she would have also just loved the fact that Catherine did not have that option. And this is also why I want to believe that incident simply never happened. They would have offered Catherine the same courtesy. I mean, the future queen walking down the aisle wearing the Spencer tiara just like her late mother-in-law. What a wonderful moment that would. The last time anybody wore the tiara was when his niece Celia got married back in June 2018. If it was promised to her on her wedding day in June 2018, There is no way they would have allowed Meghan to wear it just a few weeks before that. It would have ruined her special day. I don't think that it would have even occurred to them to offer it to Meghan. That was also the wedding that Meghan showed up to wearing what appeared to be a shower curtain and a roll, toilet paper on her head. I think for me, though, the most surprising thing about all this is that Harry really believes that people care about who gave whom a tiara. I mean, it is fun to make fun of how disassociated they are from reality. But most people have more important things to think about. Like, where's my next meal going to come from? Where am I going to sleep tonight? Are my family members safe today? It can be hard to listen to. Some people just go on and on about themselves as if anybody cares. Especially considering that supposedly she pitched a little fit when the Queen wouldn't allow her to have a certain tiara. Now if that had been the case, she just would have said, "Oh, well, I've already been offered the sense of tiara, so I'm going to wear that instead." I'm sure that she would rather have worn the Spencer tiara than any of the royal collection jars because she is so obsessed with Diana and her delusional mind. She is living Diana's life. It's like some kind of scary. Another thing is that it also would have been the only tiara that Catherine wouldn't have had access to because it's owned by the Earl Spencer privately. And considering that now she's got more access to the royal jewelry box, it would have been Meghan's way of getting one up